So here at EI, our purpose is to create the conditions for human and natural communities to thrive. To do this, we're constantly making decisions at high levels based on the best evidence available. Data quality is so important because the decisions we make here at EI will impact real people and real environments, sometimes for generations to come. And we must have confidence in the quality of that evidence that motivates these choices. Fortunately, there are these kind of little hints or artifacts in these data sometimes, in the data itself, that can help us understand the quality of that data. Now, age heaping is an example of this in the field of childhood nutrition indicators. For example, if you make a simple chart of the age of children in a given survey, you would expect each age to be roughly equally represented. Say, the number of 2-month-old children should be roughly the same as 14-month-old children. When you see big deviations from this expectation, including big spikes in the data at 12 months and 24 months and 36 months, that's what we call heaping. That is evidence for diminished data quality, and that's a sign that we should be careful in using this data for decision making. So improving data quality can look wildly different for each diverse data type out there. But there are some globally recognized and accepted best practices that apply broadly. Ideally, high data quality starts from the very planning stage, where each piece of evidence generation is supported by planning and execution of subject matter experts, from the data planning to collection to analysis and finally documentation stage. And of course, all this should be rigorously documented so that folks later on, both in primary and secondary uses, can truly understand the quality of data and whether or not it rises to the level of use for their own purposes. Unfortunately, this is not always the case due to issues such as schedule constraints, competing priorities, etc. What gets me excited is that finding these little tips and tricks that in a very evidence-based way, you can say, hey, look, we know that this data is imperfect. We have a method for understanding the quality of the data, even without any extra kind of contextual information from the evidence generators themselves. I can just look at the data and it tells me how good it is. Things like that, where we're getting more and more open data out in the world, and we're able to really assess how good it is without any assumptions on how it was collected or what the analysts did to produce that data. The data tells us themselves. That's what gets me really excited, and I think there's a lot of space for other practitioners to get involved there.